In this example of simplifying rational expressions, again, I want to be looking to factor if I can, but notice on my top or my numerator, my polynomial that's in the numerator, it's not in standard form. It will make it easier for me to factor if I situate it or rearrange it into standard form. So I'm going to rearrange it as negative x squared plus 2x. And then that's still divided by x squared minus x minus 2. All right, again, I'm looking to factor. So whenever I have a leading coefficient, when it's in standard form, that's negative, and in this case it's negative 1, I want to factor out the negative. But then I also want to look at this expression and see if there's anything else I can factor out. So each expression or each term has a common factor of x. So I'm going to factor out a negative x out of the top. And that leaves me with x minus 2 when I factor that out. Now I want to look on the bottom and see if I can factor this quadratic, which I can. It has a leading coefficient of 1 as well. So x squared factors into x and x. And then negative 2, I want to find factors of negative 2 whose sum is negative 1. So that would be minus 2 plus 1. Notice negative 2 times 1 gives me a negative 2. Negative 2 plus 1 gives me a negative 1. So now that I have my factors, notice on the top I have an x minus 2. On the bottom I have an x minus 2. I can cancel those out. And then that's going to leave me with the expression negative x over x plus 1. Now remember, I also want to figure out if there's a scenario where this could be possibly undefined. And I'm talking about the original when I'm talking about undefined. So I have to take the factors of the denominator, which were x minus 2, and set them equal to 0, and x plus 1, and set them equal to 0, and solve. So if I add 2 to both sides here, that gives me x equals 2. So when x is equal to 2, this denominator, if I substituted it back in, that would give me a 0 there and make this undefined. On the other one, I subtract 1 from both sides. X is going to equal negative 1. So if I took negative 1 and substituted it back into the denominator here, everywhere I have an x, and work that out, that would give me a 0 as well. So it will be undefined at x equals 2 and x equals negative 1. So I would, in addition to my answer, I'd put a comma, and then I'd say x cannot equal negative 1, and x cannot equal 2.